job with it. Like it's managing is more about psychology than anything, and understanding how to best communicate with each person and how to motivate each person
That's the
and to
thing. What moves
understand.
people? Yeah.
And everyone is so different, you know.
Did you feel like you had a good grasp of that, like in your restaurants and understanding certain people are good at this kind
Yeah,
of
I
thing?
think it was like instinctive to you.
You mean when selecting employees, or?
Yeah,
Well,
or
working
signing
with
them for
them.
different roles, or interacting with them, like you treat different people differently. Because there's one school of thought that says, well, you got to be fair, you got to treat everybody the same. And a smarter way to think about it is, well, everybody's different, so you can't treat everybody the same. You got to treat them a little different.
Right. Like some people, it's like with little kids. Like some are so sensitive, you cannot come down hard on them, and some, the only way they're going to listen to you is if you come down hard on them. You know.
I think one of the things our employees liked about working for us as people was that we let them sort of reach a niche that they could start out and feel confident in, and then we'd help build and grow them from there. You know, I mean, they'd start out with menial tasks. They all do in restaurants, but we always let them know that you're doing well here, and we want to move you on because you do well. You know, that type thing. Away from the sink into taking care of a messy table when somebody got up, you know, to talking to the customer, to eventually getting closer to the cash register.
Right. The cash register was like the pinnacle.
You know, and you work them up.
Right.
Well, yeah,
Well,
they're
honestly,
delivering.
though-
And the fryer, I would say, the deep fryer.
The fryer
It's a
is
safety
the
thing.
macho tool
Okay.
for the guys.
Yeah.
When you can fry and drop basket after basket into that oil and get it up right every time and all that, you know, nobody messes with it. You're in charge of your corner, period,
Yeah.
right? But, no, it's, it's psychology. It's really reading into people and trying to find out how strong they are, personality, to take responsibility of certain tasks like that and enjoy it. And we found a couple that were slow. They didn't like to get into hardly any of that. Found a bunch of them that hid work, and they were argumentative with everybody. He said, well, she doesn't do it half that good that I do. What are you on my butt for? And that did happen with several colored ladies that I hired. They were very, very defensive about what they were doing a lot of times.
There was nothing better than like when you'd be busy, tickets are stacking up, and you're like flying, putting food out, you know.
Yeah,
That
you
was
get in
pretty
the
fun.
zone.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
And we had some good coordination, because when they were trained at a level enough, right, you could just point or look at somebody like, we need these now, or these boxes on, or we need this or the stations, the steam stuff, cut and wrap, it all flowed toward that one end,
It's funny, like Ruth, if there was going to be a busy lunch day, like a Friday lunch, it would be, if I was working, so maybe this wasn't the pinnacle, because I think it was more like Ruth was the best one, and she would always work on the steam cabinet side. She was the hot.
See, that's the good side. I like that too.
Yeah, I liked that side too, but it was like you needed your strongest person there.
Unless the
basically.
door fell off. When that damn door got off the track. Kurt! I could hear Ruth now. Kurt!
I love
Moving
when
back,
because she was good. She was my favorite
Yeah,
lady, or
very strong, steady.
but she would give Dad a hard time all the time, and I loved that. She was like,
Who's that?
man, I lived vicariously through her.
Ruth.
Give me a hard time?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I mean, Dad would be like, we need to, and Ruth would be like, Kurt, blah, 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 like, hand her right back to him.
we had a lot of fun with that. I mean, it was just bantering back and forth when customers weren't staring at us,
Oh, no, I'm not saying it was an all the time thing. It was just a funny thing that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, we liked to pair against each other.
Because you had Ruth that was all mousy, and, Marcia.
Yeah,
Ruth
Marcia.
knew I couldn't speed her up. She was there. She'd get it right away, and you couldn't improve on it. I mean, much, she was a food person. But I enjoyed the crew. I mean, we had an understanding of banter against me and the women that would happen every morning, one or two times before the rush started, right? And I'd set them up for it, and I'd let it explode, and it brought laughs, and it
They
just
had a lot of fun.
it pulled the gearbox right out of the wall. Sometimes it was weird, but it was fun, you know. I mean, I screwed up a couple times. We had a big delivery one day, and I don't know what drove me, but I lugged 6 cases of tomato products in a walk-in cooler before one of them stopped me, and they belonged on the shelves. Yeah, I'm lugging them in there and slamming them down, and Ruth was talking to Marcia about it when I came out, going out to get the last one, and she said, do you think he knows why he's doing that? And Marcia said, I don't know, I can't figure out why he's doing that. And then they got into it, right? And then they got loud, and Ruth said, well, we don't know why he's doing that. And I stopped and looked at her, you know? And I said, if you guys should get some more work, get working a little bit, because we got 15 minutes for opening time, I said, you wouldn't worry about what other people are doing and not doing, supposed to be doing. I just stuck my foot right in my mouth, right? And they cracked up, right? And I said, well, when's the last time I did that? And Ruth said, we don't know, but the next time's going to be pretty soon. She always had these answers.
Well, that's why I'm saying she give that a hard time, but she could say it without even, she, you know.
No, she
They
said
were
the
also
next
like
time's going to be
middle-aged
sooner.
women, you know, whereas at night it was always
Teenagers.
basically, and on the weekends. But Monday through Friday, every day, you know, was Ruth, Marcia, and Darlene. That for like a good, for most of the 20 years.
I know Ruth
I'd
was
say.
there 8 or 9 years or longer, right? Ruth was there a long time.
Yeah, she was there about 7 or 8. But that morning I got that, see, the produce guy just was waiting to get in the door with another truck, and he had a pile of stuff. So I thought, yeah, that's right, I gotta get this canned goods out of the way in the cooler. My brain just totally flipped. I did it all backwards, right? Because I was in a hurry to get out of everybody's way. And you do that once in a while, you know, in any job. You just totally flip, your logic flips,
Right,
but
right.
you don't know why, you know?
Yeah.
I used to like checking in truck deliveries.
We used to get a lot of stuff.
I liked everything, really.
I
Like,
did too.
I don't know, everything from like cheese and lettuce to beans, and I like cooking all that stuff was, or you know, doing the beans.
I didn't realize when I took that job at Ryan's as, you know, as full manager, there were 3 managers of us. If I'd realized that, I never would have done this. But our first major delivery truck on my first day in Asheville at that store, we got 24,000 pounds of goods off that truck.
Gee.
Yeah, 12 tons off one truck. And it was on a Thursday for the whole weekend, right? And I had 3 Mexicans with dollies, myself, and 1 Mexican inside, just trying to throw that stuff in corners and coolers and what, fast enough so we could get more in, you know? I mean, he was the feeder, we called him. Get it fed in a corner or somewhere.
And how much would we get at Chico's? Like,
Oh, we'd probably get about 3,000-4,000 pounds, you know? Because, see, we took the whole truck, almost every time. Big semi.
wow.
And I could not believe this. I thought, you know, this can't be just, this is the first Friday delivery we got. It was the biggest one. Of course, I got fooled on that again later on Mother's Day. Oh, wow. They had a truck, and then a small truck came by and did. I thought, holy crap. And I mean, those people used food. We went through some damn food. I never saw anything like it. And,
What's happening all
well,
over
you
there?
know,
Think about it.
Yeah.
A lot of food.
you
Think
get
about all
used
the
to it.
restaurants, yeah.
I'd throw the frozen stuff off the side of the truck on the dollies. There'd be 2 there, 5, sometimes 6 high, right? And those old Mexicans, would, you know, you help them. You flip back his cart, call it flip back. I mean, flip back, push it back so he can get going. Because they're so heavy upright, he can't pull it back. He's a little guy, right? He can't tilt it. And we had 2 or 3 at the frozen door. Always 4 carts ready to load at the tailgate door. 2 and 2, and it took us a half an hour to unload that truck, and we were inside, rain or shine.
Oh my gosh, in the rain.
Mm.
And I mean, I really admire those guys when their work, you know, when they're going and they're in high gear, they want to get it out of there, they want to get it done, you know, because it's, like one guy told me, he said, except November, I remember that one, it's only cool one place now, inside.
Mm-hmm.
Inside, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's 90 degrees out. Yeah, we had a good crew.
Gosh, yeah. Think about like in Florida and Arizona and like restaurants, you know, and all those places.
Oh, that's
in the-
brutal. We all had.
I think about that with Dan
Yeah.
too. I wonder.
Living in the office.
He
Yeah.
talks about in the morning, he talks about cracking 300 eggs
Yeah.
every day.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
They must have a system for that, huh?
I bet he's all.
They should use like ostrich eggs.
I
or
can see
something.
your brother doing that for some reason, you know? Doing a hand. I can't crack an egg. That's,
Yeah, and think about how many times you get a little bit of shell in. You really screw up your
You gotta
flow.
beat it up really good.
Yeah.
Chocolate those.
But a good restaurant with harmony and good flow, it becomes so automatic, nobody even looks up at anybody else what they're doing. Unloading and what, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. I'm not even worried about those two over there. They're doing what I gotta do too. And it just happens. It's just concert, you know. And it's a good feeling because you're not holding hands with one instant of it, you know. The cleanup's a different story.
I love the
It's-
cycle of prep, open, busy, clean up, count the
Sure.
money, mop the floor, lock the door, go home, you know? And then it's like clean and fresh slate the next day. Every day you come in and plus it's enjoyable, like for me anyway, it's like cooking and prepping food is enjoyable. Talking to customers and knowing all your regulars and friends is enjoyable. Your coworkers are enjoyable. Pretty much everything except cleaning the bathrooms is enjoyable.
Of course, in Ryan, see, it was different totally because we had 3 meal shifts, you know, breakfast, lunch,
Right.
supper. And the breakdown and changeover was radical between breakfast and lunch. Lunch and supper, you could hold about 30–40% of your stuff out yet. But, oh man, that breakdown on breakfast, lunch, grills, everything in the kitchen got broke down.
Wow.
And you had 20 minutes to half hour to do it. Because we'd shut our breakfast serving down 11:30 or so. You know, I mean, there was no sign, no more breakfast. There was something out there, it was all compressed on the end of one hot table. And then we'd shut all the breakfast down, transition to all lunch deep pans and everything, right? And you can't stop, I mean, because we have them lined up at the door for lunch every day. And 11:45, they busted through and they wanted to hit every hot bar and be ready, you know, because they had to get back to work. So there was some interesting training going on with that, the timing sequence at Ryan's. And I don't know how we got through some of those mornings.